Hello again, class. So this is actually a continuation of our discussion regarding organic derivatives of water, to be specific, uh, alcohol. So in the past video, we actually talked about nomenclature, the general structure, and the physical properties of alcohol. So we actually skipped the part regarding reactions of alcohol because I think the video is too long already. So in this video we will be actually talking about the reactions of alcohol. Wherein for the reaction of alcohol, we will be actually looking into this reaction. We will be looking into acid-base reactions, nucleophilic substitution, elimination, and oxidation. Much like any other reaction mechanisms that we have already encountered during the course. So in that, regarding the alcohol, we know that primary to secondary, tertiary alcohol has this structure. So when we talk about reactions of alcohol, we'll be looking into the reactions that occur in the site of our hydroxyl group. So, ang maaaring pwedeng mangyari dito class or ang pwedeng mangyari dito class ay makakita tayo ng mga reactions wherein the reactions will occur on the oxygen part of the hydroxyl or reaction on the hydrogen itself. So, in that, let's talk about uh, first this formation of alkoxides. So by alkoxides, this actually is an cation wherein we have a cation bearing a metal. So paano nangyayari yun? So having an alcohol with say ROH structure wherein R is our alkyl group and we have here our hydroxyl and we allow the alcohol to react to a metal. What happens is we will be producing a product that is not actually neutral in state. So we will have here our alkoxide, then that has a charge of negative, and a metal that has a charge of positive. And we will also be noticing evolution of hydrogen gas. So this is actually our metal alkoxide. And due to the tendency of the metal to remain on the positive ion stage or what we call uh, cation, there is actually a possibility that if we dissolve this metal alkoxide or we introduce this metal alkoxide in an aqueous solution, we will be actually producing what we call an alkoxide. And as you may have remembered on our discussion of alkyl halides, alkoxides ions are just our R group with our oxygen bearing a negative charge. So that can happen since alkoxide appear as or behave. It does not just behave. It is an ionic compound. So having an ionic compound and your hydrogen gas already evolved, wherein wala na yung hydrogen gas dun sa system mo, we can actually isolate this alkoxide ion from this alcohol, wherein we can actually use this alkoxide in different other reactions like in our alkyl halide, wherein we can actually introduce this alkoxide ion to produce or to to influence nucleophilic substitution or elimination reactions in alkyl halides. So that is our formation of alkoxides. So meaning to say, if you just have kahit anong alcohol, say we have here this ethanol. So ethanol is just CHOH. and we say we introduce a metal, say, uh, nag-iisip ako na kung anong metal ang pwede. Let's say we have there our sodium metal. If we introduce our sodium metal to our methanol, what will happen here is we will be creating our CH3O negative, wherein we have here our sodium plus or uh, positively charged sodium, and we will be having evolution of hydrogen gas. And as you can see here, this reaction is actually not balanced. So what may happen here is we just need to balance this equation. Makita natin yan. We can have here two moles of methanol, 2 moles of sodium, and we have 2 moles of our sodium methoxide, and we will have 1 mole of hydrogen gas. Okay, but this is just the uh, general chemical reaction that will happen, wherein we will just be presenting the reagents, the substrate, and the product. Okay, so the next reactions of alcohol is formation of alkyl oxonium ion. This is not that different with the formation of alkoxides, but in here, instead of using metal, we'll be using a strong acid. So any strong acid may do, may it be sulfuric acid, nitric acid, and the like. Wherein for the formation of alkyl oxonium ion, if we have here our alcohol and we added our strong acid, this is our strong acid. So we can expect to produce what we call alkyl oxonium ion, wherein we will have here our R group, and we will have here a positively charged oxygen bearing two extra bearing an extra hydrogen, and we will have here our negatively charged conjugate base. Okay, so this will be our alkyl alkyl oxonium ion. So what is the significance of this alkyl oxonium ion? So as being a strong base, yung ano natin kasi, yung OH group natin, our OH group here is actually a poor living group. By poor living group, hindi siya katulad nung alkyl natin, yung ating alkyl halides, wherein the halides are actually a good living group. So due to this reaction wherein we introduce strong acid to our alcohol, we upon the formation of alkyl oxonium ion, this part, yung ating oxonium, actually will be a good living group, wherein if we have this structure of if we have this structure of our alcohol and we introduce this in into a strong acid, what will happen here is we will have here an extra hydrogen atom, and we will have here a positively charged uh, oxygen. And due to that, being that we have here a positively charged, or not positively charged, positive charged hydrogen and a partially positive carbon, that will introduce the breaking or the cleaving of the bond between our alpha carbon and our leaving group, which is our oxonium ion. Okay? So, due to that, ang mangyayari dyan, this hydrogen will actually be attacked by a base. May it be a neutral base or negatively charged base. Or pwede rin in some sort, we will have here an attack to our alpha carbon of nucleophiles. And as you may have remembered, this is actually just the same mechanism or same reaction mechanism when it comes to alkyl halides. So wherein our OH2 here will be our living group. Okay? So, parang yung sa alkyl halide lang. Our halides being a good living group, just like our OH2 plus here, pwede tayong magkaroon ng introduction ng attack ng nucleophiles or pwede tayong magkaroon ng abstraction pala. Hindi pala to attack. It will be an abstraction of our hydrogen towards the bases. So as you can see here, dalawang reaction yung pwedeng mangyari dito wherein we can have our nucleophilic substitution. And also, we can have here our elimination wherein matatanggal natin yung hydrogen. So, for our nucleophilic substitution, we actually have here the formation of alkyl halide. Being said that we have here this structure wherein we have here our R group, we have here our alpha carbon that is attached to our hydroxyl, and we use, say, our hydrogen halide. By hydrogen halide, it can be HCl, it can be HBr, hydrogen bromide, or it can be our hydrogen iodide. And as you can see here, this hydrogen halides are actually strong acids. And by strong acids, yung pinaka-acidic dito ay yung ating hydrogen iodide. And due to that, as you may have remembered, we have here our hydrogen. That hydrogen will be will be attached to our oxygen here. And due to that attachment, magkakaroon tayo ng nucleophile which is yung ating X. And that nucleophile will actually attach itself to the carbon, being that our OH here will be a OH2 will be a good living group. So, ang mangyayari dito, we will have here a product wherein we have here our R group, our alpha carbon, and our halide plus our H2O. So, pakita natin kung paano nangyayari doon. Paano nangyayari yun? Tala? So, first things first, alam natin, being an acid, what will happen here is we will have an obstruction or dissociation of our H and our X. And due to that, our H will actually attack our OH here. So if we have here our RCOH, that H will attack the oxygen or it will attach itself to the oxygen. Therefore, we will be having our formation of alkyl oxonium ion wherein we will have here our R group or alpha carbon, our O oxygen that is positively charged, and we will have here two hydrogen plus our negatively charged halide. And due to that, being this a living group, we will actually have here our living group will actually detach itself, meaning we will have here our positively charged side carbon, and we will have here our uh, H2O. Okay, and our nucleophile will actually attach itself to that positively charged, meaning we will have here our alkyl halide plus our water. So that is our reaction mechanism. You may notice here this is a two-step reaction. Uh, by two-step reaction, this is actually SN1 uh, nucleophilic substitution. By SN1, inintay muna ng nucleophile natin na mag-touch yung leaving group bago magkaroon ng nucleophilic attack. So this is our SN1 mechanism or nucleophilic substitution, which is actually unimolecular. Okay? So, another reaction na pwedeng mangyari sa ating sa hydrogen ng ating beta carbon atom is the formation of alkene. So, by formation of alkene, if we have here our beta carbon, lagay natin beta, and we have here our alpha carbon that is attached to our hydroxyl group. If we introduce acid in the presence of heat, we will actually have here a forward biased reaction wherein we may have this alkene, wherein this will be our alpha carbon, and this will be our alpha carbon plus our leaving group, which is our water. So, parang same lang yung nangyari dun sa ano natin, dun sa reaction natin. Due to the presence of acid, that acid will attack our oxygen being easily protonated by our acid there. And due to the presence of that acid, we will have here uh, magkakaroon tayo ng leaving group, which is yung ating H2O. So, pakita lang natin na. So basically what will happen is our if we have here our alcohol, kalimutan ko hydrogen. If we have here our alcohol, what will happen here is we will have here an attack of the acid towards our oxygen, therefore forming our alkyl oxonium ion. So due to the formation of alkyl oxonium ion, we know that this will be a good living group. And due to that living group, magkakaroon tayo ng positively charged doon. Wherein, due to that, magkakaroon tayong elimination. May eliminate yung hydrogen natin dito. Therefore, forming our alpha-beta elimination reaction. Kaya tayo magkakaroon ng ating alkene. Okay? So, that is our formation of alkene or our elimination reaction, also called dehydration reaction. Why dehydration? Because we removed water from the alcohol. Okay? So, ano ba yung mga pwedeng source nung ating acid? So, it can be sulfuric acid. It can also be phosphoric acid. Also, we'll have here an E1 E1 elimination reaction, where in that E1 elimination reaction, uh, we will first wait, or the double bond will first wait, or the abstraction of the hydrogen will first wait for the abstraction of the leaving group. Pag natanggal na yung leaving group, saka lang ma-abstract, matatanggal yung isa pa natin, yung hydrogen natin sa ating beta carbon, saka lang magpo-proceed dun sa formation of pi bonds, or yung tinatawag nating double bond. Okay? And for the last reaction, we have here our oxidation. So, in oxidation, as you may have remembered, oxidation is just the addition of oxygen atom to the molecule, or pwede rin naman tong reduction, it is the reduction of hydrogen atoms in our carbon. Okay? So what can happen here is we will have actually three types of reaction here. So unahin natin ay yung ating primary alcohol. So by primary alcohol, as you may have remembered, ito ay isang alcohol wherein yung ating alpha carbon ay attached sa iisang R group lang. So, ano mangyayari pag inoxidize natin ito? Say, we have here our oxidizing reagent. And, sulat lang natin. So, we have here, this is our oxidizing agent. Okay? So, upon introducing 1 mole of oxidizing agent, what will happen here to our primary alcohol is it can be converted into an aldehyde, wherein we have here our R group and our hydrogen. And as you can see here, we actually reduced the number of hydrogen from the primary alcohol. So from 2, isa na lang yung natira. And further oxidation of our aldehyde will actually result to the formation of what we call carboxylic acid. So we have here our R group, and our hydrogen is actually replaced by a hydroxyl group. Okay, so this is the oxidation of our primary alcohol. So how about secondary alcohol? So as you may have remembered, pag meron tayong secondary alcohol, we will have here our alpha carbon kung saan nakakabit yung uh, ating hydroxyl group, and we will have two R groups that are attached to that secondary carbon. So if we are to oxidize this secondary carbon, we will have here, say this is R1, this is R2, we will actually produce a ketone. So wherein we have here our R1 and we have here our R2. And kung titingnan nyo ulit, by oxidation, we actually reduced the number of hydrogen atoms in our secondary alcohol. So meron pa bang further na oxidation nito? Wala na po. Kasi ang pwede na lang mangyaring oxidation dito ay hindi na ron sa site ng ating OH or dun sa ating carboxyl, maaring sa ibang parts na ng ating alcohol, but not hindi na dito sa ating carboxyl group. Okay? And for the tertiary alcohol, say, ang tertiary alcohol, alpha carbon, OH, we have here R1, R2, R3. So, kapag inoxidize natin ito, ano kayo mangyayari? Actually, wala. Ano? So, basically, if we are to oxidize tertiary alcohol, walang mangyayari. Why? Because as you may have remembered, when we talk about oxidation, it is the addition of oxygen atoms or reduction of hydrogen atoms about the alpha carbon. And since wala na tayong marereduce dito kasi pare-parehas na R groups yung naka-attach sa alpha carbon natin, and it is also not possible na magkaroon tayo ng double bond about the carbon and the oxygen of our alpha carbon, kasi magiging 5 yung bonds around dun sa carbon, so hindi siya possible. So basically, ito yung ating mga reaction or oxidation reactions when it comes to primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohols. So, if you are wondering kung ano yung mga oxidizing agent na pwede natin gamitin dito, when we talk about oxidation of our alcohol, kahit yung mga usual na ginagamit natin actually for oxidation ang pwede natin gamitin dito, wherein these reagents actually have an abundance of oxygen atoms. We have here our potassium permanganate. We can also use our nitric acid, not N3, not O3. It should be O2. We can also use our chromic acid and also our silver nitrate. So that is our oxidizing agents. Okay, and in that, that is all of the reaction mechanisms involving alcohols. See you next time and have a great day. Bye.